Hello guys and welcome. What I'm going to do with yourselves today is show you how to play CV in terms of doing manual drops compared to auto drops, okay? The reason why I'm showing you this, I know there's a lot of videos already out there in terms of how to do this, but I feel many people are not willing to play them because of either the gameplay itself or they don't feel that they could play it well enough, okay? So what I've just done, I just pressed number 1 first of all and set myself a bit of a waypoint for the ship, okay? I put myself at full speed, so I press my Z button back, which is bringing me back to the ship, okay? So instead of being an aerial view, you can have this view if you wish. But to come out of that, you need to press Z once again, okay? That's going to bring me out of it. What I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to launch my Torpedo Bombers and put them here. So I press number 4 and click the left mouse button. 5 and click again, and 6 and click, okay? But they are now going to be launching from the CV itself. So we're going to go back to the aerial view. We're now going to set number 2 and number 3, just to give them some spotting in terms of these ships here that I'm going to kill for you to show. We're going to bring in the dive bombers here to this location. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to click on number 4 and spacebar. It's going to bring me back to my torpedo bomber. I'm now going to press shift and hold it in and click on my left mouse button and drag it across. It's going to put a box up on the screen and it's on the map, and it's going to allow me to set a waypoint for 2 planes at once. You can do this with all 3 as well, and you can do this with your entire squadrons, okay, all at once. But I wouldn't advise doing this if you are going to be strafed by an enemy fighter, which we don't want that to happen, okay, at all. So if that was the case, you would then press number 4, 5 and 6 and separate them just like that, and then what you can do is grab them back up by pressing shift and then set an alternative waypoint, bring them back together if you need to, okay? It can be as simple as that. So what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to bring these to a course over here, and we're going to, because we know where the ships are, we're going to basically give them a bit of a side shot, okay? You're meant to be doing that with the torps anyway. You never attack a ship head on. But in the meantime, my fighters are going to be over here. We're spotting the targets anyway. Number 7 and number 8 and number 9 are on the way to that location. I've gone back to number 4 and pressed spacebar, okay? Brought me back to the Monarch, okay? What I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to show you an auto drop by pressing number 4 on itself and bringing it over here. I'm going to click on the target, and at this point you can then rotate where you want the point of attack to be. You will notice that you can do that. You have to do that in tier 5 and tier 4 aircraft carrier, as it didn't used to be like that, but it was recently changed by Wargaming in that sense for that to happen. So we're still setting waypoints for my torpedo bombers, the number 6 and number 5. As you can see, the torps that I just hit that Monarch was, I only hit 2 torps out of 4 because it was an auto drop. If you come into the target on a broadside, well, on the side of the ship, should we say, and you then press your Alt key, it's going to give you this, which is an auto drop. You can then set your target where you want to hit it, on what angle you want to come from. But it should bring all them torps into a nice little area for me to actually hit that Monarch with more torps. But that didn't happen because that was my mistake. Because we got maybe a little bit too close, okay? But if that would have been a moving target, we might have got 6 torps in there instead of what we got on the original hit, okay? So what I'm going to do now at this point is going to bring my dive bombers into play as well. I'm now going to go and attack this North Carolina, okay? We can do one as an auto drop, which is like that. Never attack from the side because you are not giving your bomber the best chance of hitting all the bombs, okay? Because it needs to use that elliptical shape, and you need to try and cover as much ship as you can with that, okay? So we're now going to pull number 8 and 9 back, so I want to show you something separately. This is an auto drop, which granted you can do very well. But now what we're going to do is practically show you how to do this with a manual drop, okay? So you can bring it into play, you can get yourself... In fact, actually I want to show you something different actually. Which is, you need to try and be efficient with your planes as best you can. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring my planes in to that angle, okay? As you can see, it's an overshoot. That's why I've done it like that, because what's going to happen, I've got that elliptical shape here. We're now going to watch it as it turns around. It's going to straighten up, it's going to straighten up, it's going to straighten up, and then we drop it there, okay? Now the planes are going to come in a very efficient drop. You then can drag your planes again and fly out that direction by clicking on the waypoint, pressing shift and then F, and then change your direction if you want to do that, if you are getting strafed, bombed or whatever you're doing. But what I want to do now at this point is show you one thing that you should not do. This applies for all torpedo bombers and dive bombers, okay? Including fighters. So if you're about to do a strafing run or a drop or dive bomb drop, you never want to get your plane inside the circle and then click on it. It's going to do a spin around and it's going to have to go back on its particular course once again, okay? Which delays you, and it means that you can miss your strafe, your bomb, or your torpedo run, okay? What you need to do is try and get them before it starts into the circle, okay? So you can do a nice continuous flow, just like that, okay? That's what you want to happen. So that is the way it should be done. To make sure when you action something for a particular aircraft group, you do it when they are not in the circle, okay? If you do it when it's in a circle, it's going to have to reroute itself and then go back into the strafe or the bombing run or whatever you're going to do with it, okay? That's a bit of a no-no. So this is pretty much all I want to show you guys in terms of how to play it. It is all about practice. The higher you go up in particular aircraft carrier nations, it purely means that you are going to be have to manage more squadrons, okay? The American tech tree doesn't have as many fighters and torpedo bombers to control as separate squadrons, but the Japanese do, so the Japanese ones can be a little bit difficult to play, okay? But it's all about practice. As you know, practice makes perfect, okay? Some of you might enjoy it a lot, some might not like the type of gameplay, but it can be very rewarding and quite a lot of fun, okay? So we're going to basically finish this video, guys, but I do appreciate you stopping by to watch it, and I appreciate you all here as well, and if you do feel free to subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it, okay? But that's me done for, guys, and I will catch you the next time. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.